Okay, so we finally made it this way after our morning spent in the back watering the secret garden.
And we thought the sun was not going to come out at all. We thought it was going to actually rain today. It's not supposed to rain. We finally, what I'm calling real summer weather. We're hitting in the 90s. I think high 90s today. We've been 95 these couple of days, which we've been spoiled. It's weird right now for us to be feeling these temperatures. Of course, it's not that high right now, the temps.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. I can start feeling the humidity, but we didn't want it to rain, and we actually wanted a sunny day because we wanted to show you off some pretty cool things for watering.
Yeah, so recently, guys, Dramm reached out to us and sent us some pretty cool items for our garden here. It's been making watering, I think, 100 times easier because we're not using our drip system, and we're not using the drip system because we're actually enjoying coming out here and watering our garden and spending time out here.
The temperatures have been really nice too. And I usually come out super early. It's a weekend today, so that's when Ambrose takes his time to come out here too with me and help me early in the mornings.
Yep, so a pretty awesome product here is right there. What you have is a revolver stream and shower head, which is a pretty
my favorite
awesome tool to have in the garden because it's made even watering that slope up there 100 times
so easy. And I'll show y'all right now. Right now what I'm going to do though is soak these containers and talk a little bit at the same time while we're showing these awesome, sprayers. Talk a little bit of how I'm watering because there's a lot of questions about that. So I only water once. We're in 7B, so that it matters where you live at too, and what the weather's like, your climate. So yes, it's been raining a lot here, but at the same time when it rains, all of a sudden it turns hot. So it gets very humid. You do have to check your containers. It evaporates. As soon as it stops raining and the sun comes out, it evaporates. So you do have to come out either way and check them. So before I put it in the container, I'm going to show you the shower. So you have full control of it. And what I'm going to do is literally have it on the slowest one, just soaking. Because you want the containers to take it in slow. Just soaking them. And what I do is I literally just sit here and enjoy the garden. I drink my cup of coffee and I just let it soak and wait for some of the water to start making its way out, drain out from the container. And that's how I know it's good to go. And we've had those temperatures of, in 95, really hot, and everything has been doing amazing. Some things will start to show, guys, when it gets really, really hot, the sun's hitting, like coleus will start to wilt. And there's some plants that do that. But I always tell people, make sure not to overwater. Sometimes it's very easy to see it wilting and just come and water again. You don't need to. If it's soaked really well, and you know that one-time watering for you in your area would do it in the morning, then that's fine. A way I do know if it is time to start watering twice in the daytime, like later in the day, is really if say the coleus wilts, and once the sun starts coming down, it stays wilted. And y'all know what I'm talking about. It looks fried. It just doesn't poof back up. It doesn't look alive anymore. That means that you guys need to water twice in your area. We did used to water twice when we lived, I remember, in North Carolina. That was a zone 8B.
Yep.
No, 8A, actually.
8A, yeah.
8A. And we did have to do afternoon waterings. Not too late either, because you do want to water when they're still light so things can dry out, because then you'll cause a whole other problem, with the plants staying too wet in the evenings.
All right, so that's exactly what Angie was talking about, is when that container starts to leak, you're pretty much good to go. We let it go for a couple seconds after it starts to leak, but then that's pretty much it. Okay, so we have to get out of the sun real quick, but we did want to show you what else this awesome sprayer does, because this is one of the best things I think Angie has been raving about when it comes to this sprayer here.
Yeah, so I like to put it on the stream, what is it called, cycle?
Yep. On
the stream cycle, because I can just water them from here, and I'm talking about the hydrangeas. And also, I don't need to, what I like is that the leaves don't get wet. You're not supposed to wet the leaves because then they start getting yellow and you just, like I said, you cause, fungus?
Yep.
And stuff like that. So I can actually get right in there on the roots. And like I said, we have drip, but it's been so pretty around here. If I think Ambrose can see from there. There's actual drip, guys.
There's drip line in there, but we haven't used it once this year.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been too bad to come out here and water, especially watering
beautiful.
early in the morning. It's really not that bad. So, and as you can see, we got plenty of shade in certain spots. We just, this morning, waited a little bit long because we're doing this video.
Yeah.
And the sun kind of caught us by the containers.
I'm out here super early. Every single morning, I'm out here early morning before, you know, the sun starts to hit. I love to do that. One, because it's good on me. I'm not out here, you know, going insane with the heat, the sun hitting me everywhere. But not just that, it's great for the plants because the plants they have enough time to soak up all that water they need. They're well hydrated before the sun comes and hits them, and they don't get stressed out. They're hydrated, so they're good to go for the day. But yeah, I love this because this is what I do, and I love it. I love it so much. It might be boring to some people, but I love this so much because I get to just stand here, water this way, and I'm just watching all the little pollinators that pass by in the morning, from hummingbirds to all the little bees and moths.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing to mention about being able to have that stream is that it's a direct watering system, so you don't disturb the pollinators with, you know, that shower head spray or the water spraying everywhere. You kind of leave all the pollinators alone. You're not splashing water all over the place.
Yeah,
and
they don't get scared.
It keeps your plants from getting, you know, diseases from water spores and anything splashing everywhere. And again, like I said, you don't splash anything else, so the pollinators are left alone.
But also, if you water early enough, and you know, some leaves do get watered on, they have enough time. The plants have enough time to dry out.
All right, so one of the questions you may be asking is how long do we actually water each of these plants or shrubs or whatever we're out here watering? And the answer to that is roughly, what do you do, about a minute, maybe a little bit over a minute?
About a minute and maybe a little bit more, like Ambrose said. And then after I'm done watering everything else up here, sometimes I come back and give them another, just in case if I feel that it's going to be a hot day.
And I know a minute doesn't sound like a long time, but if you count 60 seconds and you're standing there with the direct water source like you have here, it's quite a bit of water, and with the direct water source, you get it nice and soaked, and the water's not going anywhere but directly to that root. And a minute is sufficiently long enough.
So now we're on a hill, so I have to make sure that I'm getting it really good in there, because if not, the water will just completely slide down, and the plants won't get anything. That's one thing Ambrose had to be careful with when he was doing the drip.
Yeah.
So I still need to water one more hydrangea, but I'm gonna start watering these little plants down here. And I'm gonna show you how I love to water what is this one called? The Saturn?
So Incredible Saturn.
Which is the little sunflowers. I notice right away if they get wet from the bottom, the leaves, they turn yellow immediately and they fall off. So this little one has come in very, very handy, the stream just to go in there. And if you feel that it's too strong and it's moving around the soil and creating little holes, you can always just control it from up here.
Yep. So
that's soften the stream.
Yeah. So that's what's pretty awesome about this water wand. And as you come and water your garden, you're gonna know how to water your garden, because you want to find the right combination of pressure in the water to where you're actually having that water hit the soil and actually being absorbed, and not just over splashing and creating an overwatering basically. And what I mean by overwatering is you start right here at the bottom of the plants, you start seeing all the water pour down. You see like that area right there is starting to pour down, but it's minimal. It's not a stream of water coming down. It's just, you know, that's when you're done watering. And with this adapter right here, well, this watering product we have here, you can see that you can adjust the pressure and water the right amount.
So I love for the petunias as well, because you know you don't want to pour water over the petunias. That just causes so many problems with them. So I always find my little same spot that I go to. Usually it's right here. It's weird, right? How one knows your garden, you know, each body's garden, the way you're supposed to water something. This is my little spot that I always hit right there on the what is it called? The petunia. And yeah, I just wait for it to start leaking out. I know that it's watered, and I just love that.
Okay, and so because we have been too caught up with the one-touch shower in the stream that Angie has there, that's a favorite one right there. They also sent us another one that
So
we've
this
used.
one's called, before I forget, the Touch and Flow Revolver Spray. And they come in a bunch of colors, which is so much fun.
Yeah, so the colors that they actually come with, I'll tell you right now, because you can actually go online and find them. They have a yellow, orange, red, berry, blue, and green. So that the spray and stream that we have is actually the berry color. Angie has the yellow in her hand and the red in her hand. And again, they have orange, blue, and green also in that one. So it's a pretty awesome, I think it has 9 different settings.
It does. So it has, let me try them out. So why are we making such a big deal out of it? We've used Dramm before. We use it a lot in our garden, actually, their products, and they last a long time. And they always have new things to show, and we love all the time to, to be able to share with everyone. Okay, so this is a soaker. Love that. That's great for containers. I love that. Then there's the mist.
That's great for just playing around.
That's like for our backyard and for the kids.
Yeah.
And then you got the jet, which I love using that. The trash cans when we need to start washing those, windows. And then this is center. Okay, and then you have the cone effect. I'm trying to not to wet Ambrose.
Yeah, try not to get sprayed here.
Or the camera. And then we got the fan, which I love to use when I'm watering the grass. That's rare here because it rains so much. And then we have the shower. Love the shower. Angle. I don't think I ever used that.
No.
What would you use the angle for? What do y'all use the angle for?
I'm sure there's something it's there for.
Flat. I like it for the grass. And that's it. We're back to the soaker.
We don't get too many monarchs here in our garden, so
this guy decided to visit our
to my
garden
surprise,
today.
There's an awesome monarch just hanging
buddy.
out here. Look at that.
Oh my goodness, going for it. Look at that, loving that salvia.
Yep.
Mm.
We're gonna enjoy this guy for a little bit before we continue the video.
Let me compose myself here and fix myself up because there's a monarch in our garden. We're so super excited.
So that took about 30 minutes of our time doing the video.
Oh my goodness, that is so exciting to see these. We get them a bit later on in the season, and we get it in the backyard, which we call the little secret garden. And last year, I wish we had it recorded. I was out there, and I walked out, and there was just a whole lot of them on the ground. And I walked out, and they just swirled everywhere. And it was the most beautiful moment for me. But to see them, I think that Ambrose, you said you saw another one too, right?
Yeah,
so more than one.
This actually brings a great point that we're talking about. It's actually enjoying out here watering because we miss out on so much stuff when you're not out here watering. If we just set the drip and go back inside, or just sit down and have our coffee, then we don't get to see all this stuff. But
and
being
drip
out
helps.
here,
It helps. It helps sometimes when we're gone or whatever. But
I mean, obviously in a bigger garden, drip's gonna help.
Yeah.
And if you're gone, it's gonna help. But taking the time to water parts of your garden, if you have a bigger garden,
connect with the garden.
Yeah, you'll definitely see some things
with
like
nature.
this. And seeing a butterfly out here, like I said, it literally took us about 30 minutes out of our way.
So you'll be seeing some of those pics on Instagram later on, or Ambrose will be showing some.
But real quick, what I wanted to talk about, so watering, right? So if you guys, we have one of these hoses that's an expandable hose because
love it.
We need it to come all the way to the front of the garden. So it's an expandable hose. But if you have one of those regular garden hoses,
let me put this down.
The thick green garden hoses that twist up and do all this kind of weird stuff, they also have some of these nozzles here, or these adapters here that come with it. That, Angie, you want to spin that real quick?
Yeah.
That actually turns as you walking around the garden, so your hose doesn't twist up and kink up.
Never paid attention to it, and I had no idea. And when it got here, I was like, what is this for? And I was like, oh yeah, that happens to me a lot out in the garden. So yeah,
so it's pretty awesome to be able to have that little swivel there. So
that's so cool.
If it does get caught up somewhere, or if you're not paying attention, especially with the thicker green garden hoses, like I said, we have those green garden hoses. We just don't use them at this house because they're not long enough. And this expandable one definitely helps us reach all the way over here. But that adapter right there, the swivel adapter, is definitely beneficial, and it helps a lot whenever you get it kinked up or tangled up in certain spots.
So I think the whole point of the video of showing things like this is just that there could be way easier ways to, you know, come and enjoy your garden and like watering. There's so many things that one can nowadays out there being sold, you know, for the garden that makes it so much easier and on us as gardeners to come out here and take care of our garden. And any little thing helps so one can come and enjoy it, actually enjoy it while we're taking care of it. Because I think the garden gives a whole lot back to us when we do appreciate it, you know, and take care of it. So I think that should be it today.
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this this video. I know watering's not something special, nothing big, but it definitely helps to know how to water your garden, when to water your garden, and what to do when you're watering your garden, and having the right tools for watering your garden, because that's always a plus when you're out here doing stuff like that. So, you got anything else?
No, I'm just gonna continue watering, take it all in, because there's so many things happening right now. I think we wanted to do one little more video, maybe seeing what's blooming right now and share with y'all. So have a great day, and thank you for joining us.
Bye, guys.